And now I'd like to welcome Jeff Salmon, who will do a presentation on Python. Python in a stereo. Python in a stereo. Python in a stereo.
Sure.
Do you need sound?
Well,
I know where it is. It's right next to the plug. Take care of that. Also, finally, the magic microphone. If you just put it on your label here, yeah, sound.
all right. Hi, everyone. My name's Jeff Salmon, and I work for a small company called Mass Fidelity, and we're building a stereo. So here's a mock-up of the final hardware. The elevator pitch for it is it's a stereo that will pull music from various online sources like Grooveshark, SoundCloud, and also from your local network or USB devices attached directly to it. And a lot of the software we've written for it is in Python, so I thought I'd come here tonight and share with you what we're doing. So this is a mock-up of the final hardware. Right now we're actually developing on little plug computers like this one. So they're just little ARM computers, basically, ARM-based. Neither these nor the final hardware actually have a UI. Like there's no screen or physical way to use it. So how the user will interact with it is they'll control it through a web app. So we want to have web apps for mobile devices like smartphones or tablets. That's not ready yet, but I can show you the ugly web app I use. I'm not a UI programmer. But so basically, the left side here is kind of, this is the current object you're looking at, the details of it, and these are the various lists of children. So for example, if I go into the local library, the library, this is a list of artists you can page through. I can dive into a particular artist, see the list of songs or albums. And if I click this little plus, you can't see it. Click the plus beside a particular album, it enqueues it in the now playing list, and I can start playing. And with any luck, if I choose a song that starts a little faster, it'll start playing. You can also, in this UI, drill down into particular sources. So here's a Grooveshark source, and you can see the list of Grooveshark songs that are in the local library, or do things like play Grooveshark's stations, which are sort of never-ending lists of songs that'll keep playing. So, sorry, the resolution's a bit. Basically, it'll when you get to the end of the list, it'll add a new one and play forever. So that's the UI. I'll jump back to my slides. I'll stop that playing though. So I wanted to focus on one particular aspect of this project that I thought would be interesting or unique anyway. So I decided to make some slides on the overall architecture. It's a multi-process system. So each of these blue rectangles and the blue circle is a separate Python process. And they're all talking to each other over local sockets, 0MQ sockets. If you focus just on the middle one, it's the router, and its job is to take messages or requests from one process and pass them to another one. And if there's a reply, it returns it. Those two processes implement the web API. So the UI I just showed you is a web page, and it interacts with the stereo through a HTTP API. And this is just the web server receives requests, passes them to another process where we look at the headers and the request body and decide what to do with it. These processes down here are the different media sources. So each media source, like Grooveshark or SoundCloud, is a different process. And the idea is that eventually someone else could write their own media source in whatever language they want, as long as it has 0MQ binding. And we can then install it on the stereo, and it'll act like it'll be a new media source, like just as full-fledged and powerful as any of the existing ones. There'll be no difference. And finally, to play back music, what we're doing is most media sources can provide you a URL of where you can stream the media. And we pass that over to our player daemon, which uses libVLC to actually do the playback. So libVLC is sort of like the core of the VLC media player. Just to sum up, some cool things I've run into working on this and some stuff I'm still struggling with. If you haven't seen them, check out Eventlet or similarly gEvent. They're Python processes that make, or sorry, they're Python libraries. Said processes too many times. They're Python libraries that make doing multi-threaded network programming really easy. 0MQ is the socket library we're using. And I didn't mention it, but a lot of our persistent storage is in CouchDB, which is also, it meshes well with Python. And yeah, I'm out of time, but problems are mostly multiple processes are hard to struggle with. And this will all be open source soon. So I shouldn't have saved that for the end. I'll post on the mailing list when it's out.